Sairam students, in the last class we had seen what is meant by a linear equation and what is meant by a solution or roots of a linear equation. In today's class we shall represent these solutions in the graphical as well as the elimination and substitution methods, and before going to that we shall see what is meant by a coordinate plane. So this is known as a coordinate plane, a plane which has got so many coordinates, which I will show you what is meant by coordinate and how are we going to represent these coordinates in the plane. That is why we call it as a coordinate plane. So here what we do is we draw two lines. One is the horizontal line, which we call it as the x-axis, specifically xo, x dash, and the vertical line, which is known as the y-axis, or we can call that as the axis yo, y dash. So on both these axes we are going to represent the numbers. To the right hand side of the origin, this point O, we call it as the origin. This is the point of intersection of both the axes. To the right hand side of the origin, we represent all the positive values, like how we have discussed in the real numbers. In the left hand side, we will represent all the negative integers. Same thing for the y-axis also, we will represent all the positive values on the top axis, and on the bottom line we will represent all the negative integers. So that's what is mentioned here. We take two perpendicular axes, namely xo, x dash and yo, y dash, intersecting at the point O. That's what I told you. These are the two axes which are meeting at the point O, and mark the real numbers xo, x dash and yo, y dash by considering them as number lines, with the point O as the real number 0 as shown in the figure that I have already shown you. Now what happens is these two lines, namely the horizontal and the vertical lines, will divide the plane into 4 equal quadrants or 4 equal parts. Each part we call it as a quadrant. Usually it is a convention to represent this as the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant. We go in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, this is known as clockwise and this is known as the anti-clockwise direction. We take the quadrants in the anti-clockwise direction: first, second, third and the fourth quadrant. As you observe, in the first quadrant, this is the plane which is going to cover all the points of the positive x-axis and the positive y-axis. Okay, and in the second quadrant, we are going to represent the coordinates with the values of negative x values and positive y values. Similarly, for the third and the fourth quadrants, you can see that in the third quadrant, both the x and the y values of the coordinates are going to be negative and negative, and for the fourth one, it's going to be positive and negative. So usually it is conventional to write the sign of the x coordinate first, followed by sign of the y coordinate. So this is what is mentioned here. So we are dividing it into 4 equal parts called as the first, second, third and the fourth quadrants. And the number line xo, x dash is called as the x-axis, yo, y dash is called as the y-axis, and we take the x-axis and the y-axis perpendicular to each other. Okay, as you are observing, these are the x and the y-axis, they are perpendicular to each other. Perpendicular means what? They will make 90 degree with one another. And this particular plane, we call it as a coordinate or Cartesian plane. This is the description of whatever I told you. So again, for your understanding, I will mention these are the first, second, third and the fourth quadrants. Now, let us take an instance. of representing a point, say 3, 2 on the coordinate plane. How to represent any point for that matter in a coordinate plane. And for example, we are taking the coordinate 3, 2. So what we do? We take the point 3 on the x-axis. This is how it is. We take a point 3 on the x-axis and draw a line perpendicular to the x-axis like this. If you are drawing a line perpendicular to the x-axis, through this point, draw a line perpendicular to the x-axis. Now take another point 2, because the y-coordinate is 2. It has to be taken on the y-axis and through 2, draw a line M perpendicular to the y-axis. That's what we are doing. We are taking point 2 here and drawing a line perpendicular to the y-axis so that it cuts the previous line at some point, say P. This coordinate P is known as 3, 2. Is the point 3, 2. So now this point represents 3, 2 on the plane. So always remember, students, first we will take the x coordinate, take that point on along the x-axis, draw a perpendicular line. Then similar thing we need to do for the y-axis also. Mark whatever is the point and draw a perpendicular line to that y-axis. Both these lines will meet at a point, say P or Q. That will be the required coordinate. Now signs of coordinates in each quadrant. Now look at this coordinate plane. As I have already told you, in the first quadrant, these are the different quadrants. You know, any coordinate is denoted in general form as x, y. The first one is going to represent the x coordinate, second one is going to represent the y coordinate. So, as you observe in the first plane, you see along the x-axis all are going to be positive. Along the y-axis also all are going to be positive. So, in the first quadrant, both are going to be positive, positive. We represent it like this. Same way, look at the second quadrant along the x-axis, right? So, this is the negative x-axis. First one we will write the x-coordinate sign. So, here it is negative, and what about for y-axis? It is positive. Hence, what we conclude in the second quadrant, x-coordinate is negative sign and y-coordinate is going to have a positive sign. This is what I was trying to tell you here. In the third quadrant, similarly in the third quadrant, as you observe, both an x, y coordinates are to be negative, and the fourth quadrant, x coordinate is positive and y coordinate is negative. You can just observe that. In the fourth quadrant, x coordinate is positive, y coordinate is going to be negative. For any ordered pair, this is an important note. A is known as the x coordinate and B is known as the y coordinate. You can also denote it as x, y. So any point on the x-axis, it is always written as a, 0. And any point on the y-axis, we denote it as 0, b. Now, the coordinates of the point O, we take it as 0, 0. It means x coordinate is 0 and y coordinate value is also 0. Now, let us see how to draw the graph of a linear equation. For example, consider an equation 2x minus 3y equals 6. So we can represent this as 2x minus 6 equals 3y. I am bringing all the terms containing y to either left hand side or right hand side. So here I am bringing to the right hand side. So that means 3y equals 2x minus 6. Now we will choose different values of x. You can take any values of x. I have taken some specific values 0, 3, minus 3, and corresponding I am finding what is the y value. You can take any values for that matter. You need not be very strict on this. You can take any values of your choice. Now if x equals 0 in this particular equation, 3y equals 2x minus 6. Let us take this equation. So if x equals 0, what happens? Just substitute x equals 0. You have 3y will be 2 into 0 is going to be 0 minus 6. So y value equals 3y equals minus 6. That implies y value equals minus 6 by 3, which is minus 2. That's how I got y value to be minus 2. Next, if x equals 3, what happens? Same logic. X equals 3, substitute x equals 3. So 2 into 3 minus 6. 2 3s are 6 minus 6, that will be 0. So if 3y is 0, y value will be 0. Same way, if x equals minus 3, you will note that y value equals minus 4. So I am representing the values in the form of a table, which I call it as a tabular form. First I will mention all the x values and the corresponding y values which you obtained, and these we call it as a ordered pairs. These are known as the corresponding points in the plane 0, minus 2. First we will write the x coordinate, and the second value will always represent the y coordinate. Next one, 3, 0 and minus 3, minus 4. Now plot all these points, and when you are plotting all these points, you will get a straight line. Yes, this is how it is. Whatever points we have got over there, whatever in the previous step, we are representing it on the graph. 3, 0. Here it is 0, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. After plotting all these points, just join all these points and you will get a straight line. So this will be the graph of the linear equation 2x minus 3y equals 6. And one important point to be observed is all these coordinates, namely A, B and C, will all lie on the same straight line 2x minus 3y equals 6. Now let us see what is meant by system of linear equations. Earlier we had seen what is a linear equation. Now what is meant by a system of linear equations in two variables. So this is the definition. When two linear equations in two variables are taken together, we are taking it simultaneously, then it is known as a system of linear equation. If only one equation, we just call it as linear equation. If two or more linear equations are taken together simultaneously at a time, then we call it as a system of linear equations. And the values of x and y that satisfy both these equations is called as the solutions. There are different methods of solving such simultaneous linear equations. The most common methods are by graphical method and by algebraic method. These are the two common methods, graphical and the algebraic method. Now let us discuss one after another. Graphical method. Here what we do, the graphs of both the linear equations are drawn. You know how to draw a graph of a linear equation. Already we have discussed earlier. Here two such lines will be given. Draw the graphs of both these equations on the same graph sheet of paper, and you will note that the graphs may be either intersecting, coincident or parallel lines. All the graphs are going to be in your lines only. Okay. Now, when two such linear equations are drawn in the same graph sheet, you will note that it will be either intersecting, coincident or parallel lines. Intersecting means what? Both the lines will be like this. They will meet at one common point. Therefore, they will have a common solution. This will be the common solution. That's what I mentioned. In this case, the point of intersection will be a common solution and the solution will be unique. How about coincident lines? Sometimes it may so happen the system of equations will lie one upon another. They will exactly lie one upon another. Those lines we call it as coincident lines, and here they will have infinite number of solutions. And for parallel lines, here no point will be common. Okay, you will have graph something like this. Both will be parallel to one another. They will not meet at any point, which means there will be no solution for the system of equation. If they are meeting at one point, we can say they are going to have one unique solution. If they are not meeting, if they are going parallel like this, then we can conclude that there will be no solution for the system of equations. Now we will take one graph for our working. How to solve a system of linear equations using graphical method. So I have taken two equations, x plus y equals 8 and 2x minus y equals 1. So as we have discussed earlier, draw the graph of each of these equations separately. Okay. So first I am taking x plus y equals 8 and we are getting the values of y. Suppose if x equals so you can observe from this you can write y value to be equal to 8 minus x, correct? So like we have done earlier, we will start substituting the values of x. If x equals 3, what happens? Y value will be 8 minus 3, that will be 5. So that's why we write the corresponding y value as 5. Next we will go for x value to be 4 in the same equation. So x value equals 4. First we will write as 8 minus x, y value y. So x value is 4 means 8 minus 4, that will be 4. That's how it is. Next, if x value equals 5, what happens? Y value will be 8 minus 5, that will be 3. So the ordered pair of this this tabular column can be written as 3, 5, 4, 4 and 5, 3. That's how I written it here. Same way we will do it for the next equation also. So for the first equation, for this coordinate, for this particular tabular column, we will draw a graph. It is going to be a straight line. Same way, we will find what are the values of y at different values of x. Okay. 2x minus y equals 0. It means what? 2x will be 2x minus 1 should be equal to y. Correct? I am bringing minus y to the right hand side, and 1 when it comes to the left hand side becomes minus 1. Let us see what happens if x equals 0. If I am substituting x equals 0, then this will become 0. This whole thing becomes 0 minus 1. What is 0 minus 1? Minus 1. That will be our value of y. I hope you are clear, students. Same thing. If x equals 1, what will happen to y value? It will going to be 1. We'll just do that also. So 2x minus 1 is going to be representing y. If x equals 1, what happens? 2 into 1, right? 2 into 1 is going to be 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. That is our y value. Same way, when x value is 2, you will observe that the corresponding y value will be 3. So for this second tabular column, we have the ordered pairs to be 0, minus 1. That's what I represent here. 0, minus 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. Now we will draw these two graphs separately. Yes, this is the graph for the first one and the second one. First one was 2x sorry, first one was x plus y equals 8, right, with the respective coordinates, and this is the graph. Always you will get a straight line. Okay, this is the graph of the second equation, 2x minus y equals 1. So when you are extending these lines, they will meet at a common point, as you observe. And what is that common point? It is 3, 5. So this coordinate, so 3, y will be the solution of both these equations. So as you observe, here both the lines are intersecting, and whenever the lines are intersecting, the solution is going to be unique. And here the unique solution is 3, 5. Next, about the algebraic method of solving simultaneous linear equations, now we shall discuss. There are basically two methods in that. One is the substitution method and the elimination method. In substitution method, what we do is we find the value of one of the variable from one equation and substitute it in the second equation. Now the second equation will be reduced to a linear equation in one variable. Whereas in the elimination method, here we eliminate one of the variable by multiplying both the equations with suitable non-zero quantities to make the coefficients of one of the variable numerically equal. Then we add or subtract the equations so that one variable gets eliminated. Now we shall do some problems on both these methods so that you understand it better. We'll take one. The first method, elimination method. Solve the following system of equations by elimination method. So here we eliminate any one variable, either the x or the y variable. It is left to our choice. First we eliminate that. Let us see how to eliminate. Okay, this is the first equation and this is the second equation. So we can eliminate either x or y variable. Here if I want to eliminate x variable, what should I do? I need to, since the second equation is already in terms of multiplied with 2, so this also I will multiply it by 2. So the first equation, when I am multiplying by 2 throughout, what happens? It becomes 2x plus 4y. I have multiplied by 2 throughout. 2x plus 4y equals 10. And the second equation I will keep as it is. 2x plus 3y equals 8. Now our objective is to eliminate the variable x. So if we need to eliminate, what should happen? Both must be of the opposite sign, right? So just change the sign to its opposite. Plus 2x becomes minus 2x, plus 3y becomes minus 3y, and plus 8 becomes minus 8. So add both these equations. 2x minus 2x, both will cancel. In other words, we are eliminating the variable x. Now 4y minus 3y is going to be y, and 10 minus 8 is going to be 2. So now we got the value of the variable y to be 2. So now substitute this value of y in either first or second equation. Again, it is left to our choice. Either in the first or second equation, we can substitute this. Now substituting y equals 2 in first equation, what happens? We have x plus 2 into y value is 2, this is equal to 5. So that implies x plus 4 equals 5, which means x will be 5 minus 4. 5 minus 4 is going to be 1. So x value is equal to 1. Therefore, the root or the solution of this particular equation is going to be, solution will be equal to 1, 2. Always we represent the x value first, followed by the y value. So this is going to be the solution of this system of linear equations. And this is how we call it as the elimination method. Here what we do? We eliminate either the x variable or the y variable first and then proceed as discussed now. Next we shall move on to the second method, the substitution method. Okay. So again, consider these two equations. Mark it as equation number 1 and 2. Here, from the first equation, you can write 7x equals 2y plus 1. Right? I'm bringing this minus 2y to the right hand side, so change of sign. So that will give the value of x. From this we can find what is the value of x. It will be 2y plus 1 whole divided by 7. Okay, now substitute this value of x, whatever we have obtained, in the second equation. Right? That is why we call it as a substitution method. Here what we do, we get the value of x or y. Here I have taken the value of, here I have found the value of x. You can also find the value of y instead of x. So after finding the value of x or y, what we do? Substitute that particular value in the next equation. So on substituting, what happens? The second equation, substituting in 2. So we get 3 into x value is 2y plus 1 whole divided by 7 plus 4y will be equal to 15. So now multiply 3 into this value, whatever we have written, is going to be 3 2s are 6y plus 3 whole divided by 7 plus 4y is equal to 15. Now we'll take the LCM for 1 and 7. It is going to be 7. So further simplification will give us 6y plus 3 plus 7 into 4y will be 28y is equal to 15. So add up all the y's together. 28 plus 6y. Let me write it here. 28 plus 6y will be 34y plus 3 whole divided by 7 will be equal to 15, or 34y plus 3 will be 15 into 7. That is going to be 105. 15 into 7. So 34y will be 105 minus 3, which will be 102. So that will give us the value of y. If 34y is 102, then y value is going to be, let me put it here, y value is going to be 102 divided by 34. So that is going to be 3. So once we find the value of y, we can always find the corresponding value of x in substituting either in first equation or the second equation. Okay, first equation of the second equation. That is why you look at the process. What we are doing here, we substitute, and then we are finding the values of x and y. That is why this method is known as the substitution method. Now we will substitute the value of y equals 3. I'll erase all these steps now. Y equals 3 in the first equation. Substitute y equals 3 in the first equation. Y equals 3 in 1. So this is our first equation. So that gives 7x minus 2 times of y should be equal to 1, or 7x minus 6 equals 1. That gives 7x equals 6 plus 1, right? And take it to the other side. So x value equals 1. So the solution is going to be, so finally you will write solution of this particular system of linear equations is going to be, first we'll write the x value followed by y value, 1, 3. So this is known as the substitution method of solving any given linear equation. Next we'll go for some word problems and see how to solve them. In the previous cases, they have given you the equations directly. Here, the equations will not be given directly. First, we have to read the statements that is given. From that statement, we have to frame the equations. Then, we have to solve those equations either by substitution or by elimination method. Clear, students? So, let us read the statement and then try to frame the equations first. The perimeter of a rectangular garden is 20 meter. So this is from the given data. Perimeter value is 20 meter. You know the formula for perimeter is twice of perimeter of a rectangle is twice of length plus breadth. This is going to be 20 meter. They are given it. So that implies length plus breadth will be 20 divided by 2. Right? 20 divided by 2, which is 10. Number it as first equation. So this step we have got from the first statement. Further read. Again, if the length is 4 meter more than the breadth. So length value is 4 meter more than the breadth. So if the breadth is b, what will be the length value? It will be 4 more than b. So length will be b plus 4. Correct? Length value will be b plus 4 if the breadth value is b. So from the second data, we can write if the length is 4 meter more than the breadth. So if b is the breadth, if b is the breadth, from the given data, what will be length? Length will be 4 meter more than the breadth. So it is going to be b plus 4. So now we will substitute it in the first equation. Length value is going to be 4 more than b. That is why it is b plus 4. And b will be as it is. Equals 10. Group all the b's terms together. B plus b will be 2b plus 4 equals 10, or 2b will be 10 minus 4, which is 6. The breadth value will be 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So if breadth value is 3, what will be length value? It will be 4 more than that. So obviously length is going to be, therefore length is going to be b plus 4. 3 plus 4, which is equal to 7. Both will be in terms of meters. Now the problem is solved. We have found what is the length and breadth of the garden. Length value is 7 meters and breadth value is 3 meters. We can cross check whether our answer is correct by just substituting in the equation that we have framed. Perimeter is 20 meters. So if I am substituting twice of L plus B, so twice of L value is 7 plus B, breadth value is 3. This value should be equal to 20 as per the given data. Let us see whether it is 20. So twice of 7 plus 3, 10, which is 20. So our LHS is the same as right hand side. Both are equal to 20. So our value is correct. This is how we cross check whether we have worked it properly or not. So like this, whenever the statements are given, we need first frame the equations and then solve them either by substitution or elimination method. Now you can take some assignment problems. These are the questions for you. First one, solve x minus 2y equals 7 and 3x plus y equals 35 by elimination method. Already we have discussed that method, how to do. Next, one more problem in substitution method. Solve these two equations. 3x plus 2y equals 11 and 2x plus 3y equals 4. Third one, graphical method, that also we have discussed. For each of these two equations, you have to draw a separate line and then draw them, find their solution. For the equations, 2x plus 3y equals 1 and 3x minus y equals 7. And two more statement problems for you to work out. Fourth question is, Rahim's father is 3 times as old as Rahim. If sum of their ages is 56 years, find their ages. The last question is, a certain number increased by 8 equals 26. Find the number. So hope you have understood what was dealt in this class. Work all these assignment problems. We'll meet again in the next session. Sai Ram to all of you.